What's up, Mayank?
What's up, Abhinav? How's it going, man?
Good, good. This is I'm like on a live video streak because last at least 3 or 4 days, every single night I've been having a live video.
Correct.
Yeah. What's up, man? How are things with you?
Things are going great, man. Like, for all those who don't know, we started with our second cohort, and yesterday we had the first lesson. So things are going great, man. Like, a lot of stuff happening as well. Been flexing a lot of cred and IPL news as well all over the internet.
Nice, nice. So tonight we're gonna be doing another
case study showcase.
Yes, and we're gonna be fewer this time. We're gonna be doing four case studies.
Right.
And this time it's not gonna be just the assignments that we're gonna be showcasing, but we're going to actually be showcasing some of the capstone project case studies. Yeah. Before that, let's get some engagement going. What is everybody up to? Let's throw a couple messages on the screen. Let me just make sure everything is fine. Give me.
What's up, guys? How's it going? So for all those who don't know what we're doing today we are showcasing case studies from a few members of our 10K Designers Cohort 1. And in our previous case study showcase, all of them showed their case studies from the assignments that we gave them during the program. And now they're going to be showing their capstone projects. Capstone projects are a bit different from the assignments. These are the projects which are given as problem statements from the companies. And so today, the cohort members will be showing some of the case studies based on the problems that they were given by the companies themselves, and they will show how they were solving real world or real company problems, and they will share how their experience was different compared to the work they were doing during the assignments.
For sure. So let's get a quick emoji in the chat before we get started with our first case study.
Go for it, guys. Right, that's his poster.
This is a new poster, by the way. I put this up just today. So what it says is, first we shape the tools, and then they shape us. I got this from, there's this type foundry called The Designers Foundry, TDF. They're the ones behind Averta, which is like one of my favorite typefaces. So they actually just sent me this. Like today in the morning, I got a letter from New Zealand, and I was like, who the hell is sending me mail from New Zealand?
Nice.
Oh, okay, got it.
Nice, man. So did they just send it to you, or did you like fill something?
Yeah, they just sent it to me because I've bought a couple typefaces from them before, including Averta.
Nice.
So this is like, I think their 8-year anniversary poster. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Pretty sick stuff. So, I mean, I'm not seeing enough OPs in the chat, guys. Like, share capstone project OP or case study OP. You guys know the drill as well, which we do every week. Smash that like button, that subscribe button. Take a screenshot, show it on Instagram. And also one thing new that we're starting is that we want you guys to show your like the video and also show your engagement on LinkedIn.
For sure. So we want to see a couple shares on LinkedIn. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing, like resharing all of them. So right now, if you can just pick up this URL, share it on LinkedIn, that would be great. We're about to get started right now. What I want to do is quickly for Instagram. Okay, cool. Are we ready? Should we get started, Mayank?
Let's get started, man.
Okay, all right. Let's go. So the first case study we have Rohan joining in. Rohan, what's up?
Rohan, you're not audible, bro.
Hey, sorry. Hi, what's
What's
up?
up, man? How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Good, bro.
Good, man. Doing
Great.
killer.
Great. So, thank you so much for the opportunity. So, I'll be presenting my capstone project today.
Yeah,
Let me just open my case study up.
sounds good. Let's jump into this. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So, the problem statement that I received from Avalon Meta was I had to gamify their current existing referring system for the users that are already pre-existing on their platform. So we had to augment a real life scenario where you get incentivized or you get badges for inviting more people. Since Avalon is it's an online university where people get different kind of skills. So referring more and more people to such a platform would give you benefits ranging from unlocking all the videos and the lectures to even a new currency that they've introduced in their own community named Ava Coins. So first of all, in case study, I explained what is Avalon. So this was a very basic introduction and the key features that Avalon already has. And then I introduced with saying what's my story with Avalon Army. So I very recently joined Avalon Army when they shifted from Telegram to Discord. Even though I was a part of Avalon Army before in the Telegram group, but 10,000 people texting all together was a big hassle for me to keep up to. So Discord was basically a lifesaver for me. So I took a very small workshop about UI UX as well, and then it was also recorded. We had around 80 people on the call, and the call was pretty successful. I was able to teach a bunch of people how to use Figma. So apparently, I being a self-taught designer, it's me who learned from the community as well, and I also believe in giving it back to people. And then after doing all this, taking a very small workshop with like around 80 people being there, I try to understand the product better, because even though I have been a part of the Avalon Meta app, I have not used it much. So I went through the app flow, and I understood what the flow looks like and how do people go through the whole app. Took a video and put it in so that people who are looking at the case study can also go through the app. By the way, shout out to Parth for providing the user flow app video. And then I understood what the problem statement is. So one problem that basically everybody, before getting into solving a problem, they do not understand what the problem is. And that happened with me as well. My basic problem was here to introduce a badge system. Whereas what I did was I incentivized the whole thing. So the next thing that I went was I started solving the problem. I did a bit of research to see what other apps who are already there on Play Store and App Store, how do they do it. So UI sources prove, just like always, proved to be a very great resource. So I went through Headspace, saw how their incentivization goes through. So they do not have a referral system, but what they have is a buddy link system where you can add a friend to your leaderboard, and whoever does more meditation gets points. Next is Cred. Cred has a very nice referral system with a very good user flow. And I did break it down to information architecture and wrote down a few points on post-it notes. And I did a bunch of couple more apps ranging from Sweetcoin and Cake Browser. And I thought Cake Browser's referral system was very straightforward. All you had to do was click on share, refer to friend, and you get a pop-up with a video and a button where you can share things straightforward. And then I did read a bunch of articles about this. One thing that Google Pay does it really good by if you refer this to your friend, you get some money in exchange. And that is one thing that I have personally used a lot of times. And I think introducing something like this to Avalon Meta would be a very good step. So just like always, the next step after research, what I follow in my UX design process is to start making wireframes. Instead of jumping directly to Figma, I also prefer using paper and pen, but I prefer making mid fidelity wireframes just after using paper and pen and making low fidelity ones. I jumped through the visual design part of it. I tried a few iterations and saw whatever looks good, and then I went through my iterative process of designing visuals. And here I've explained pretty well that what my process was. So the screen that you see on the left is where it tells you that you get reward every time someone joins using your invite. The one in between shows you the state where you open or scratch the card. This is a very similar mental model that has been used for Google Pay already. And this was an iterative process that I have removed now. Here I was introducing a personalized leaderboard, but after getting a bunch of feedback from Abhinav and Mayank, I finalized on making a global leaderboard to increase competition even more. So I made a few more states where this was showing the empty state of the card thing, and there was, let's say you're on level 1 or you're on level 6. So making these states on your case study gives you an extra pinch of sugar on it, so that you people who are looking at your case study understand it better. And other few cases and edge cases being this the whole flow is here. Let's say you're on level 1 or you're on level 6. You have the whole leaderboard app and your invite flow, and then popping up the let's say somebody from my friend joined. This is how the pop-up would look like. Now next, going through the badge system, which was actually the main problem statement that we were supposed to introduce some sort of a badge system. This is how I have introduced badges. And coming back to final visual designs, this is how it should look. So you click on invite a friend, you get this pop-up where you can share the link in different social media versions, and you can tell your friends about you getting some sort of a rare item in Avalon Meta. You can also share these items with your friends, just like the OG Pokemon cards that was a big trend back in 2000s, and I was also part of that trend. I was a big Pokemon card collector, and then I made a globalized leaderboard where you can see various state of people. Let's say people are a hero of meta, or people are in the leader section. So you will be getting a different tag on your name, so people who are on the leaderboard can see you and see what league do you belong to. Yeah, so that's about it. It was a very simple and short case study, because the problem statement was not that big. But again, that's it. This is what the case study looks like.
Nice, man.
Awesome.
So what was your experience? Tell us more about how different was it for you when it comes to working on your capstone project versus working on your assignment?
My experience was great. Apart from the case study and the capstone project that I've done, one thing that I would like to tell is, in a 3-month process, from not having a portfolio, from not having a single case study in your portfolio, ranging out to having 4 case studies in just 3 months of time period. First of all, that was a great experience. And I myself, I am an extrovert while I am speaking, but I am not that great with typing, because I am not very confident with my English and all those vocabularies that are very complex vocabularies that you see in case studies. But when I was writing these case studies, after having a few revisions of case studies and showing it to you guys, you and Mayank and Abhinav, and understanding what kind of vocabulary should I use and how do I structure my case study, that helped me out a lot. So my experience so far has been great. I'm not gonna lie, this was the best experience for about my design career that I've had so far, and I'm definitely gonna cherish this for a long time.
Nice. So Rohan, when are you planning to publish this case study? Because I see some people who want to check it out.
So this case study is already on my portfolio website. That's rohanxdesign.in. But other than that, I'll be posting this on Medium tonight, and this will go live just after this live session. It's already there. I just need to click the publish button. So
Cool.
yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about some of the feedback you received from the Avalon team as well. Like, what are some things that you might want to iterate or change that you didn't anticipate like the first time around?
Sure. So in the beginning, as I told before, that I introduced a like a personalized leaderboard instead of a global one. So I didn't receive like very complex feedbacks, but feedbacks that were actually helpful to make the product better. One being that you can actually introduce not just personalized or global leaderboard, but you can have a drop down where you can change the leaderboard from personalized to globalized. So that would increase the engagement not just for you but for the team as well. And other being, instead of sharing, like, now if you were to tell this to me like 5 years ago, I would not have believed such a feedback. But now, no, like almost nobody uses messages, right? And everybody's on WhatsApp. So removing the message option from the share, like from the referral system to WhatsApp, would be a good call, because now literally everyone who has a smartphone is using WhatsApp.
You want to show a
And
screenshot quickly, just to make it clear what you're referring to?
of the review or of the case study?
Of the particular part you were talking about, like the messaging part.
Sure.
I got it, I understood, but just to make it a little clear.
Yep. One sec. So I'll open the Figma link itself so I can show it to you properly. It's a huge ass file, so it takes a lot of time to.
Yeah.
If it takes too long, you can get back to the case study where you've written it. Okay, it's loaded anyways.
Yeah. So coming to this point where, yeah, so right here, when I have added a message option and 3 more Instagram options. So this is where I've done it. So removing the message option to WhatsApp would have been a better call. So these are the feedback that I've received so far. And I'll be changing these tonight and adding those up to my case study and publish it on Medium.
Nice, got it.
That's about it.
Cool, man. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Cool, bro.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye. Okay, Mayank, are we? You want to take a short break before we go through some chats before we go to the second one?
Sure, bro. Why not?
Yeah. So folks in the chat, how's it going? What's your experience like? So this first case study, it's not 100% public right now. Although you can check it out. Maybe I'll drop a link as well.
RohanXDesign.in. So that's the website which Rohan had mentioned. So for all those who want to check after this live, you guys can go to that website. And also he'll be uploading it on Medium. The links, all of these links will be updated in the video description. So you guys can check it out here itself whenever you guys want to.
Yeah. Okay, I think let's just jump into the second one. Second, we have Siddharth joining us. Siddharth, what's up, man? Can't hear you.
Can't hear you, bro.
Now, what's
Yeah.
up? What's up, man? What's up, and out?
What's up, man?
I'm great. Thanks for this. For
Yeah, for
let
sure.
us showcase our.
Do you want to start screen
Should I
share? We can
start?
jump into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, go for it.
Is it sharing?
Yes.
Okay. So the problem statement I got from Avalon was, there were many problem statements, but I picked this course selection and onboarding data collection. So with this course selection area, so if you see this, these are the screens in our onboarding. These are the current screen, and they did it to make it very user friendly. It's like a substitute for new age college, and you need to learn. So the problem which I felt was, if you see, you select certain categories and then it will show a mentor. But I felt, what if I want to learn finance with business, because it's new age education and I can learn anything with anything. So there's restriction for the user, and I'm not very concerned with the mentor. I'm very concerned with the courses or what I can learn. So I think this is very restrictive. So yeah, then the basic problem, the solution I proposed was where a user can select the courses, because currently all of our courses are in itself a category. For example, product or advertisement, and you cannot distinguish between a category and product, a category and your course. So that's why I thought we can just showcase all of our courses because we don't have a very huge library currently, and that way users can see that yeah, we have, like, we can learn a lot and we can subscribe to certain courses and then move forward. So yeah, this was a very small part, like a very small tweak to this section. Then if you see, this is our course selection. So in this section, you can change your mentor and go to a particular course. So if you see, these are the courses by Varun, and you can have this is the bar where you can see all the, you can continue your current course. But here we face similar problems because I cannot uh, do two courses simultaneously, and I cannot do across a different discipline. For example, design with some tax or advertisement. So yeah, so these, I changed these two different pages. So first of all, you have your all courses, then my courses, and then mentors. So in all courses, this is like a feed. It's like Netflix. Here you'll see courses on business, courses by Varun with different contexts, and here at the top you can see, you can continue your learning. And my courses, you will see your courses and all the courses which you are currently taking, and then mentor similarly. So yeah, so I felt this was the easy solution because currently we see this format in most of the apps. There is this second proposed solution where in mentor section, you can, the mentors are in carousel format. You can scroll that and then click, and here you can see all the courses. Personally, I don't like this, but in their problem statement, they wanted something like this where it's more aesthetic, it looks more new. So yeah, and then this is my, this was not a part of problem statement, but when I felt when you go to a particular course, this screens looks like it's a totally different app because till now our app looked very premium. It looked very designed, but then suddenly we have these screens which does not go with our current design system. So that's why I thought I should recreate these screens as well. So here, if you see all the thumbnails, I felt why are we using these thumbnails when they are not conveying anything? And here we have our title for course, but it's on the cover, so it's like it's the title for the episode. And then there are description for each episode, which is only 3 minutes, and then 3 to 4 minute long. And then it's not conveying any information. So yeah, so I thought let's keep it very simple. Let's just what the episode title is and their progress, and then make a different page for resources and discussion. So that way you can jump between all the things, all the main sections, and it keeps the design very minimal, and it is, it's like cohesive now. It's not like out of the place. So yeah, and then there is a second problem where we need to collect data from our users. So if you see, the main data we wanted to collect was, are they a student or working or looking for work, and where are they currently working, and what are, where, in which course are they currently enrolled in. So this was a basic separated each question to a different screen, so you can make it very clickable because there are tiles and you can just click on popular item, or you can search. That way you can just move very fast. Yeah, so this is a variation for our, for if you are walking. So yes, these are two different statements.
Awesome.
That
So tell me a little bit more about what was your experience like working on this sort of problem statement from Avalon, and what was some of your research behind how the Avalon army works and things like that.
so so yeah. So if you see in assignments, you are creating a whole app,
Mm.
but in capstone this project, you are not creating a whole app. You have this whole foundation where you need to identify problems. You need to understand what they are, like what is the purpose. So in so it's very basic. You see a single you identify a problem, but in an assignment or in a whole app, you need to work on every scale. You need to look at your whole information architecture. You need to look individual screens. You need to look individual elements. But here you have a visual design, so you don't care about that. You can work on a single flow with a with at a certain scale. So I felt
Mm.
this was very real because when I worked for e-commerce app, I felt it was, you are working at so many different levels. You are working on icon level, then composition level, then your format, then all the sequences of each screen. But and in that way, you are missing a lot. So I did when I did my e-commerce, I felt this is just another like a purple mantra because I just copied that. But here
Mm.
I felt I was really doing something as a product designer because
Mm.
I felt that because in this it's not very hard, like it's not very difficult to come up with solutions. You look at different apps, different sections, you try to compare, you try to identify why they have done. For example, I looked at Netflix, and rather than just copying, I was trying to understand why are they doing these different pages, why are they kept their thumbnails as such. So yeah, it is totally different experience. Yeah, completely.
Nice. And what would you say? What were some of the feedbacks that you received from the Avalon team that you think that there was some scope to do certain
Yes,
things?
yes, yes. So I got feedback from Abhinav, like Abhinav Arora, the CTO. So
Yeah.
I felt he was his feedback was not very specific, but at a like zoomed out scale at the
Mm.
product level. So he said, we don't want to ask our users where they are like working currently or how much they are earning, or so he wanted us to make this flow very to ask users what they want to achieve rather than where they currently are. So
Mm.
we don't want them to feel judged. So I felt this was like a very great feedback because now I can work on this idea rather than just like remove this CTA or remove this question. So he explained me the whole concept of this data collection. We want to understand what our users want to become,
Mm.
not what our users are currently are. We don't want them to feel very judged. We don't, because if I ask where are you currently working, so he might feel like a little judged. I'm
Mm.
not working at Amazon or something. So yeah, I felt this was,
Nice.
so I have something to work on.
Mm.
On
Awesome,
a,
man.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thanks, dude. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Bye bye.
Good stuff, man. See you.
All right, Mayank, let's take a short break.
Let's take a short
Let's
break.
do some
Yeah.
chats, and then we get into the next one.
What was nice there is now how I'm not sure if everyone noticed this, but
Mm.
how both Siddharth and Rohan shared their case study which they worked on for Avalon, the capstone project. And even though they worked towards the same app, they had their problem statements were different. The kind of solutions they came up was unique. It's like now after learning the basics and the fundamentals, they're using it to make it their own craft.
Mm.
Like they're growing into their own niche, and like it feels really nice, man, to see them grow like this.
Yeah. And I think what's also interesting is, as a beginner, you might think a lot of the work of a product designer would be to design new apps, but very likely that the kind of internships or the jobs that you get, you would have to work in an existing system, not only in terms of the design style guide, but of how the product currently works,
Yeah.
what business constraints exist, what kind of philosophy and vision this company has. Every company is different. And at some level, that kind of culture is shaped by the founders. And it reflects in the team, but also every single thing that they've built. So I feel like the capstone projects are a good opportunity to get a perspective into that.
Definitely. It's like that expectation versus reality as well, right? Like when you're working on your own projects or working on, even if you're redesigning explicitly, you're in control of the problem statement, all of it is very selective. But when you're working on a project of someone else or helping someone else reach a solution to their problem, like it's a very different mindset as well. And that experience, and especially that coming to people before as a part of a program, it's like very early, like being really early to the game as well.
For sure. Cool, man. I think we're ready to jump into the next one.
Yeah, bro, let's do this.
We have Parth joining us. What's up, Parth?
Hey, what's up?
Second week in a row for you on Whiteboard Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, second one. Yeah. So yeah, I'll start by sharing my screen.
Go for it.
Yeah. So basically, this is not a case study as such. This is just my documentation process for the problem statement. So yeah, I worked on the same problem statement what Rohan worked on, the gamification of the referral system. So basically, this is some of the overview of the of Avalon and what are they focusing on through Meta. So they want to revolutionize the current education system and make it completely digital. And the problem statement was to create a gamification system for the referral system and introduce badges. So they had given us some kind of context as to what they were expecting from the badges. So yeah, so what I did was I applied a framework called the Octalysis framework. So this framework is basically to build any gamification system. It has 8 components like meaning, empowerment, social influence, unpredictability, avoidance, scarcity, ownership, and accomplishment. So like when you apply these 8 principles in a gamification system, it becomes very interactive and engaging for the users. So I try to incorporate these 8 components in the entire system I built. So the main part was actually creating a meaning around the gamification system, because I thought just introducing badges on getting a referral will not lead to a lot of motivation. So if there is a certain storyline behind it, it would be much better. So I did some research, and yeah, it was I wanted to find some shared context around all the Avalon users so that it would be much more engaging and exciting. So after doing some research, I found out I wanted to build a storyline around the movie Ready Player One. So if there are any Meta users in the chat, they might know how hyped the movie is. So I did some research on the Discord channels, and I found out that people were watching the movie together. They were rewatching it a couple of times. I saw some usernames with the name Parvizel, which is the protagonist of the the movie, and also Varun, who is the CEO of the company. He has this vision of building the OSS, which is a virtual world, and it is a reference to the movie as well. So I wanted to connect this all together in my gamification system. So what I did was I introduced these keys, 5 keys. So in the movie, there's this concept of the creator of the game, who is Halliday. He has 3 keys, and you have to collect them, and then it takes you to the next level. So what I did was I introduced 5 keys. So sapphire key, bronze key, emerald key, golden key, and crystal key. And when you complete a certain number of referrals, like 1, 3, 5, 10, and 25, you get this key, and which gives you a feeling that you are going to unlock something. And that is once you use the key to unlock it, you get the badge. So yeah, this was my initial process of research and ideation, and this is what I wanted to do. I compared these metrics with how Facebook applies these same metrics, and yeah, so I'll jump into my Figma file. So initially I did some research
and it was mainly understanding how the app, what is the current flow, what is the current invite a friend flow, how does it work, what are the various screens in it. And also I looked at some the notification screens, the profile screens, where we could actually add some changes. Then so currently the app only has one touch point. You only can invite a friend through the sidebar thing. So I added more touch points to this. So for a new user, a pop-up when he taps on a video which is already existing, and for existing users, what I did was we could add a simple pop-up when the user first enters the app, or else when he completes a course or watches five videos in a streak. So at this point of time, maybe the user's motivation to invite someone is quite high, because he's feeling he has a feeling of accomplishment. So he has the highest motivation to perform an action. And also after receiving a badge, like once he has completed the given amount of referrals and received a badge, he'll be motivated to invite more users to unlock more badges. So this was my entire concept. So I'll jump onto the screens. So
You can zoom in a bit too, bro.
I'll zoom in more.
Yeah, you can zoom in a bit.
Yeah, cool. So this was the pop-up I introduced, and yeah, it was like invite your friends to be a part of the world's first digital community, digital university. So this is kind of the slogan which Avalon goes by, and I redesigned the screens as well. So here it was just invite a friend to unlock all videos. So I just changed it to invite friends and win exciting rewards. And this most of the rest of the screen is quite the same. And here I introduced this referral tracking system where it tells you how many referrals you've completed and when will you get the next reward. After that, this was the main ideation process. So executing it. Once you have completed a referral, you receive a notification saying you have successfully invited a friend and Avalon points have been added. So currently there was no such thing which gives you a notification telling you have successfully completed a referral. After that, once you complete a certain number of referrals or the checkpoints, you receive a notification saying you have received a surprise. And when you click on it, you get this key to unlock the badge. And I have designed the badges as well. I've designed some interesting badges like the Meta Helmet, the Meta Shield, the Meta Armor, the Meta Swords, and the Meta Crown for Hero of Meta. So this was the entire thing. And you can see these badges all together in an achievements tab which I've added in the sidebar. And this is how the screen looks like. You'll have the different badges, their descriptions there. And edge case I added when you have not received a badge. Once you click on this pop-up appears which tells you that you have to invite more friends, and then you can invite through this CTA. So yeah, I'll show some prototypes as well. I've recorded the prototypes. So the first one was the pop-up flow. Is it visible? Or should I make it full screen?
Go for it.
Sorry, I'll just replay it. Yeah, so this was the first one, inviting a friend. You get this pop-up, and yeah, then this is the screen. Added some GIFs, and then the referral tracker. Yeah, and this was when you receive the reward after tapping on the notification. So this is how the key appears, and this is the badge and some confetti. Yeah, that's it.
As well.
Couldn't hear you, man.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, bro. So I was asking that your animations look pretty cool, bro. Did you use
Yeah.
Figma or did you use anything else as
Everything
well?
was done. Everything was done on Figma.
Nice.
Yeah,
So you probably use like the Lottie plugin to.
yeah, to add the GIFs. Yeah.
Nice.
And they really like the keys concept, and they wanted to find some more use cases where we can use them, because currently it's used to unlock the badges, so we can scale it to some other use cases as well. So I'm working on that right now. Yeah.
Cool, man. Awesome. A few questions here. Why is everyone using Montserrat? It's because that's the style guide of the app.
Yeah, that's the
That
style
is
guide
why
of the app.
we are using it.
Yeah.
Few more questions. Finding problems in the existing system. How should one begin finding the problems? So I'll add a little bit. Part maybe you can add if you want.
Yeah.
These are problem statements which were given by the company. So usually when you are working in a product company, you would get an idea of what needs to be fixed either through quantitative feedback, which is you can look at metrics, through qualitative feedback, things like app store reviews or surveys that you conduct,
Yeah.
or you would get to know this from the direction the business is going, which is something new needs to be added to achieve a certain business goal. So that's how you get an idea of what these problems are.
Also adding to this and relating it to the problem statement what I had received. So it was just the problem statement was like creating a gamification system for the referral system. But then you also need to know how the referral system works. So then I found out some loopholes in the existing referral system, which were like there was only one touch point. So there was no intimation for the users to invite more friends. So I added a small pop-up. So that's how you find the loopholes in the already invented wheel.
Yeah. I have a few more questions, but okay. What are the badges for? Right? Is it just for showing? So I'll add a bit of this thing here. Is usually when you have digital platforms, which is look at TikTok, Instagram, Meta, or Twitter. Platforms have something called a proof of work, which is the longer you spend on the platform needs to reward you in some way to make you firstly stay on, but also to show this concept to you that you've put in this amount of work on this platform by uploading photos, by dancing, making these videos on TikTok, or making really high quality tweets. This proof of work is the platform rewarding you and setting you apart from other users who might have joined just today. So every platform has this idea of status. Different people in the platform have different levels of status. On Instagram, that might be something like your followers. If you have a lot of followers, it means you've put time and effort into creating your profile such that this now results in the platform rewarding you in some way. Yeah. So, but you want to add some thoughts?
Yeah, I think it is like a sense of achievement you're getting. Otherwise, you're just inviting friends and it is of no use. Here, you're getting some sense of accomplishment and also a kind of a social status in the environment, like inside the app. So, like when people look at your profile, they know that he has invited certain number of friends, and there's always some competition going on, which leads to greater engagement. So that is the whole point of introducing a gamification system.
Yeah. Cool, man. Parth, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you, man.
See you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, Mayank, we have one final case study for tonight.
Yeah, bro. Let's go for it.
Few more chats. Chetan's question around keys and badges instead of having just badges. Definitely. I think Parth mentioned this in between. This is one of the things that he's working on. Just right now, it feels like you get the badge and then you immediately get the key. But this was one of the feedbacks he received as well, which is the key concept sounds great, but right now it feels like you just get two things. Are there other use cases that we can figure out for keys? So that is definitely something he's working on. Okay, I think
Cool, bro.
just jump into the next one. I don't see any other chats.
Questions? Yeah, same here.
How's everyone doing? I don't see the likes and the viewers right now at the same level. I want to see a couple more likes. Let's jump into that. Let's do that right now before we jump into the case study.
Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We want you guys to share this more on LinkedIn. We'll be sharing your posts as well. So the more you share and tag us, we'll be sharing that as well and increasing the reach for Whiteboard.
You know what, Mayank, let me open LinkedIn right now to see if anybody's shared.
Let's do that, bro.
Maybe they have, but nobody's tagged me. I want to see a few more shares.
Yeah.
On. Okay, let's jump into the next one. We have Debi coming up. Debi, what's up, man?
Hey, hi.
What's
Am I
up, man,
audible?
Debbie?
Yeah, I'm great. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, you're audible.
Cool, man. You want a screen share? You want to jump into your case study?
Yeah, sure. Um, okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, we can see your screen.
Okay. My case study is upon a niche like pottery. So initially, when we started working on it, like I'm working as a visual designer, but I don't like UX a lot because I feel that there's a lot of process in UX. But when we started working with Abhinav and Mayank, the way they help us understand all the processes, and you don't have to use everything in every project. You should know how to use certain amount of those processes with respect to your need. Then I started liking the UX thing. Or else, like I used to hate UX. Like I am very much happy with my visual design process. Okay. So regarding case studies, so the requirement was we have to create a pottery app. So this is one thing that I learned from Abhinav, that every pixel that you're laying out in your design, you should have a reason for everything. The same thing I think in previous Whiteboard FM video, I think Saloni or Anish, even they spoke about the same thing. Like you should have a reason for everything, whatever you have laid out on your design. Okay. So even in this case study, we want to implement our learnings, research, IA, VD, and all those things. So I started upon asking like why app. Like I have this thing that if you'll ask me to design something, I always ask why. Like you should have a reason for everything. So I searched on net like why do in India and all those things. Okay, so I gathered all those data. Then I started searching for inspirations. Like the best thing if you're planning to prepare a e-commerce site, so best thing is to refer the brands, right? So Amazon and Flipkart. So there's one thing that I observed, that in these big brands, so they don't have explicit section for pottery. Like they have all those sections clubbed into one thing. Okay, they don't have segregated data for everything. So I found these 4 sites, like they helped me a lot, and I segregated all those elements into these 6 buckets. And so when I used to get any problem statements, I used to discuss with my friends. Like I have this idea, like what do you think about it? So they used to they asked me this question a lot, like why are you ignoring like these 2 sites? Like they're the best, these 2 are best in the market. Like why are you following not their design guidelines or not? You can say like their design aesthetics. So what I don't, even I told earlier that they don't have proper explicit column for all the segregated buckets for clay product, for example, pottery. So I learned the flow, like how they have laid down everything, what is the information architecture, like how easy to find everything in Amazon and Flipkart, because they have great conversion ratio. Okay. Then IA. Okay. So for a newbie, I think you can relate to me. For me, like I'm doing a UX for first time, like I started in June only, you can say. Okay, so you can see this map of IA, like you can observe that it's like a spider web kind of thing, and it may look a little bit complicated, but trust me guys, it is not. It is just you're connecting, like once you have fixed like what you want to show in your design plans. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, dude. Go on.
Okay. Next comes wireframe. So it's better that you should go for wireframe so they can quickly test it out with the users. Okay. Now coming to the visual design. That's the best part for me. Okay. So there are in our 10K designers, so we used to have a lot of guest sessions. So one of the guests who came, like she was really great. Like the session was really great on VD. I think I learned a lot from her. Okay, regarding mood boards and all those things I used to do, but how to you can say like what you can say like proper draft or document all those things, that I learned from her. Like she was really great.
You mean from Neha Shankar's
session? Yeah, like can I take her name? I thought I should not. Okay, if I can, then it's fine. Yeah, I learned from Sneha. Like I think she's an IT passport and she used to work in an academy. She was really great. Like the way she explained us everything, like it was really great. Now coming to fonts, like generally I don't pick font just for the sake of it. Like I have asked people like why do you use Roboto, and they used to give me the reason that because Google is using Roboto, that's why you're using Roboto. So generally I search for the reason for every font. Like I use Source Sans Pro. So okay, so generally I'll just quickly show you like how I did it. So this is a little bit manual process, so you have to do hit and trial.
We can still see the same screen, by the way. I don't think the tab changed.
Okay, I'm still in case study. Okay.
Yeah, still in case study.
One second.
Sure. Yeah, got it.
So, yeah, so generally it is a little bit, first time it will take time. So once you get used to it, it's fine. So I took Source Sans Pro. Okay. Then I generally go about. So you can see the guy like who designed this Source Sans Pro. You can see the reason like what is this they are planning to use it for. You can see that they are planning to use it for user interface. So that's how I pick fonts. That's why I chose Source Sans Pro. Then coming to colors, okay, mood boards really helped me to pick colors. And regarding gray, as a designer, I felt that picking gray colors is a little bit tricky. Like you have to decrease the opacity and all. But what is a trick that I use? Once I decrease the opacity, I have the 6 palettes. So I used to export as PNG. Then I used to take colors from that thing. So you'll give a proper hex code for every value. Okay. Now coming to the screens, like this is a landing page, this is a GIF image. Like once you start, and there's one thing that even I learned from this course is that when you're asking for credentials, right? Credential, like I'm asking for your location, so you should give a proper reason, like why I want your location. Because after the issue of Facebook, you know, right? I think I forgot the first part of it. Like Facebook was there in the trial, like where they're gathering users' data and all. So you should be upfront, like you should be transparent, like why you're gathering users' location. Now coming to the search bar, then there's a product page. You can scroll through the product page. Okay, now you can short it. Now filters. So I still remember one thing. Once I took inspiration and I thought, okay, it's done. And I just get feedback from Abhinav and Mayank. And I thought that, okay, some of the feedback that I can get is like 8 comments and 9 comments. Then when they started giving feedbacks, like I can say like it was overwhelming, but at the same time I was thinking like, okay, why didn't I thought about that thing? Like it was really great. Like when I started working on the assignment sum. So this is like prototype. Okay, this is how it will look like. This is just for fun, and it can be a spider kind of thing. Okay, so my learning would be, and this is the one thing that I want to say for the future batches also, try to complete your assignments in time. Like I'm telling you guys, like it's a ground rule. I think you should do it because I don't know, because I'm still working on my capstone project and I am already late. Because once you've completed your assignment, you can get quick feedbacks from Abhinav and Mayank, and I'm telling you, it will really help you a lot. Maybe initially you won't get it. Maybe after 3 months you will realize that what you're missing. Okay, I can't reveal like what you get after 3 months. Maybe Abhinav and Mayank, they can tell you, but you will regret. Please complete the assignment in time. Okay, guys. Yeah. So currently I'm working on USP. Like in the future, if I'm trying to build this app, so what's the USP of my product? Yeah, I think that's all from my side.
Awesome.
Good stuff, man.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice, man. You mentioned something also that you weren't really thinking too much about, like the UX part of around this. Can you go a little deeper on some of the things that you can now you start seeing in different projects now that you're thinking?
Yeah, like initially, like when I started searching for these courses, like I thought, okay, Abhinav is teaching, okay, but I got to know about you like from Chetan, okay. Then I started wondering, like the guys who are working under you, like what they are doing now. Then I thought, okay, I should go for the course. Like initially, you know, like the mindset, right? What I pay 70K. Then after ending the course, I think every penny is worth it. So yeah, and regarding UX, so like once you are trying it, you can say that it's an assumption that I used to have, that it's like too much cumbersome, like too many processes, like who will do these things? Just jump into video and do it. But I had this thing from day one that I want to know why, and research I really like it a lot. I'm still working on building down the research and how I can feed the newbie designer. And whenever I'm designing a case study, writing a case study, I don't want to use so much vocabulary, words like tough words. I want to write in this way so that a 8-year kid can understand it. It should be simple enough. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah. I've shared the link
Thanks
as
a lot.
well. People can check out your case study on Medium.
Okay, sure. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Great having you, Debi, man. See you.
Same from here. Yeah.
All right, Mayank. That brings us to the
Nice, bro.
end
That's
of this live.
correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's been great, man. It's been really nice. It's like seeing all these people. I feel like you and I know this because like we've been helping and seeing their growth as well. But hearing that same thing from their side as well feels like a job well done. It's like a pat on the back.
Yeah. I think it's also that one thing I've realized is it's a very dense course. A lot of things are packed. Like there are things that you might hear in the first week, second week, that only hits you like, oh, okay, like that's what they meant. Once you apply it a month later, 2 months later, and in some cases, like a year later, because a lot of these things are very context dependent.
Correct.
In fact, all learning, I would say, is context dependent. Anytime somebody tells you something, you apply it to the things you worked on and the projects you have going on right now. And the same learning can keep changing for you over time. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Like adding to your context dependent point, which you just mentioned, which is why it's always encouraged to try new and different problem statements as well, right? Because there is a nuanced learning in each problem statement. Like what you're learning in e-commerce when working on an e-commerce application is very different from what you're learning when you're working on a gamification concept versus what you're learning when you're working on something finance related or travel related. So there are a lot of different domains and nuances that come across. And another thing which I was discussing with the cohort was that someone had asked me from the new cohort was that what about the future interfaces that come? How is designing going to change for all those? And what I answered was, which I feel I still like stand by it, is that the fundamental design process is going to be the same. The interfaces will change, the guidelines might change, guidelines might improve, update, but the fundamental process that's there, that is research, wireframing, iterations, and so on and so forth, that's still going to be there as a foundation layer.
Yeah.
No matter what the technology and what the guidelines are.
And I think with design process, it is a matter of compounding as well, which is the more
Correct.
times that you apply the design process to different projects, you develop your own version of it that helps you just like go through any project you have rather than getting stuck. So it's almost like while some of us might want to work on future interfaces in the future, you're going to use the same process. So you might as well take what you have right now, the kind of problem statements, the kind of what's in today rather than what's in the future. You might as well use those to refine your problem solving abilities as well as your design process. Prepare yourself for the future. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And also after this, like throughout the program, after the program, I'm pretty sure all these guys who were first really hesitant to even start designing or think about, oh, I have to start this task. Now that fear is gone. Now they'll be a lot more liberal and open-minded to give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to end this session right now. For everybody who's watching, who's a part of the Discord 10K Designers community, this is a community that you can check out on 10kdesigners.com/community. Right after this, we're going to be having another discussion. This is going to be more of a general thing. We have more people talking right now. It's just two of us and the case studies. So let's get going. I've created a lounge channel in the 10K Designers community Discord, a voice chat. Let's jump in there and let's keep the conversation going. Okay.
Let's get there, guys. See you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.